Hello right bags, it's Jade Plays Games with another ARK Survival Evolved Extinction first look guide. Today I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about the Meks. Meks are really end game boss like creatures. You can do so much with these once you get to that point. They're very high level engrams. I'm going to show you how to craft high level ones and how useful they are in certain situations. All three different variations of weapons that you can put on top of the mech and how it all works. So come with me, let's go. It's ARK Extinction Tamed. So just like the Scout or Enforcer, you are going to be able to craft your mechs once you get to level 91 and you unlock the Techgram for it. This gives you a basic shell. It gives you a very low level one, and then you can add different types of weapons onto it. These will start unlocking at level 93 with the Defense Shield. It's a deployable shield that helps get rid of any projectiles coming towards you. After that you've got the MSLM, which is rocket launcher basically. It fires a big huge area effect attack, and then after that at level 97 you've got the MSCM, which is a cannon gun which fires one direct bolt or one direct cannon and causes a massive amount of damage. These are the three adjustments that you can add to your mech to suit how you want to play, and you can change it and mix it up anytime you want. So you can go ahead and craft a low level mech, but if you want more advanced ones you get them from blueprints by completing orbital drops, which then need to be crafted at tech replicators in most cases. I'm going to be going into a bit more detail with that towards the end, but initially when you get your mech it's very manoeuvrable, it moves quite well. It runs on element. That's what you can see in the bottom left hand side, the fuel gauge there, measuring how much element you've got. You initially get one charge without element, so even when you craft it, don't worry too much if you haven't got any, but you will need to find some soon because it uses it up for some of its abilities, particularly when it's hovering and generally just moving around. You can also see you've got a little heat gauge. That goes up the higher the more you're using your weapons, your hovering ability, or you're just again running around. When it reaches capacity it means that you won't be able to use any of your weapons. You can still walk around but you won't necessarily be able to hover or run. Your mech, even without any additions, does a fair amount of damage with its swords, and it does have a tech rifle that it can also fire. These are both pretty useful for getting rid of creatures and dinosaurs. However, because you are so large it can be difficult if the smaller creatures attacking you very close up. But these are its two standard attacks. If you want something a bit more different, that's when you start adding the adjustments or the mods. The first module is a shield defense module that stops other people from firing projectiles at you. It doesn't stop creatures or dinosaurs or people players from going through the bubble, but it will stop most projectiles. I'm showing you this one because I am kind of ranking them in a way. It's probably the least useful. It has obviously got benefits for PvP, and that's where it's going to be crucial. Popping one of these up is going to be really important, but in PvE I don't know if it's got as much use. It does give a shield buff, or it does give some sort of healing buff to any other mech robots that are inside the shield as well. Although I'm going to not lie, I couldn't exactly determine how much it gave because it was hard doing this on my own with no other players to show me exactly if their health was buffing. But when I jumped into some of the other mechs while doing this, their health was going up a little bit quicker than before. The shield also stops you from shooting out of it as well, so although you can kill anything that comes in it, you won't be able to shoot safe inside the dome, so that's why it's really kind of number 3. To make the MDSM you're going to need a few fair resources. I'm going to go through everything you need for the mech in a while, but what you need for this is 30 black pearls, 280 crystal, 30 element, 400 metal ingots and 180 polymer. Bear in mind that is for just like a level 1 module. You'll find these blueprints in orbital airdrops and they may be much higher, which means the resources needed to craft them are going to be much higher. All in all, that's why I'm rating it number 3. It just doesn't have enough versatility in terms of attack stuff, and it's just really not going to be useful unless it's PvP. Next up is the MRLM, which is a huge rocket launcher firing a bunch of rocket pods doing lots of damage to lots of creatures in a certain area. Now it is a bit wide. The area effect that you're aiming for really is good for crowd control if you're getting swarmed by lots of creatures, but the individual rockets themselves don't necessarily do that much damage. You have to be quite lucky for a lot of them to hit one particular creature for it to really make a difference. Add to that the rocket pods themselves are quite expensive to make. You're going to need at least 120 cementing paste, 50 crystal, 180 gunpowder, 120 metal ingots and 100 polymer for just one rocket burst. On any other map where polymer is so easily got, or well, can be easily got, that wouldn't be a problem. But on this map, polymer is such a hard currency to get hold of, a hard item. It really makes the rocket pods almost not worth getting. However, I still like them. I still like the way they can help with crowd control, and I think a lot with the corrupted, they're the perfect weapon to get rid of some of the swarms that are attacking you. It could be also very good if you're going against maybe a turret system where there's lots of turrets in PvP and you just need a wide area of effect to take them out. But truly, these are going to be great for orbital drops or making your way through to one of the caves for the boss fights, clearing out the corrupted swarms. So that's why it's number 2. The rockets don't do as much damage individually, but if you can aim it right in the right situation, they will help you out massively. Pretty much all the mechs require the same sort of resources depending on what level it is, so I'm not going to go through exactly a breakdown, but just expect you need lots of black pearls and lots of element and lots of polymer. Which leaves first as the MSCM, which is an absolute beast. It fires one particular rocket, but it does a huge area of effect damage as well, and if you get these bang on target, it can cause massive multiple damage to any creature. Now the rockets themselves, or the cannon shells, are quite expensive to make. They're even more expensive than the rocket pods, but that is pretty understandable when it comes to how much damage they can do. 40 cementing paste, 20 crystal, 200 gunpowder, 160 metal ingot, 120 polymer. So not much in it, but I feel though that the amount of damage per pod, per rocket, means that this is the number 1 mech to get hold of, the module. Now, like I said, you can swap these all around. So if you do find all 3 modules and you want to put it on the one mech, maybe you've only got one mech, you can do that. Be warned though, every time you swap one out, it takes away the durability. So you basically only get to use it 4 or 5 times, maybe a few more. Again, it just depends on the quality of it. The 2 things holding this one back from being absolutely OP is the fact that you're immobile when you're firing. You go into turret mode and you cannot use it close quarters. The rocket power is so large, it will only let you fire at a certain distance away. So any close combat, anyone getting right up to you, you won't be able to actually fire on them as it goes red. Good thing you've got your sword and your normal pistol as well. Using the sword does use up some stamina, and if you're going to be using your pistol, that also uses up your fuel, so be careful how you utilise your abilities on all these mechs. There is a cooldown for the rocket pods and the cannon, and as you can see, firing the cannon here at airborne creatures is quite hard to aim. You can find all these blueprints in orbital drops. And then finishing off this little tutorial or guide showing you exactly where or how you can craft. Extinction has been very buggy at launch. There's been lots of problems, there's lots of issues on PC and console. When you go up to a city terminal, you can in fact craft scouts and enforcers, but if you have the blueprint and it's a low value blueprint, you should be able to craft one of the mechs or one of the modules inside it too. Now the city terminal does have some limits, you can't put too many resources in there, and that's what stops you doing much higher blueprints. So bug or not, this is what you can do at the moment with the city transmitters. I don't know if they're going to change that or nerf it, but that is something you can use. Otherwise you're going to need to get hold of a tech transmitter. Now if you've already unlocked it through other maps, you should just be able to craft one at a boss terminal, or you're going to have to find one at a orbital drop. I took my mech into battle in the 2 or 3 drops to see if any would come out, and yes, you can get tech transmitters from orbital drops. You maybe not necessarily get the blueprints, but you do get some that you can utilise a few times at least. Normally, if it's not a blueprint, its actual item itself, you'll only have a limited amount of times to place it down, so maybe 2 or 3 times to craft it, and then that's it. Once you've crafted and placed it, obviously when you demolish it, you won't be able to just pick it up and put it down somewhere again. It's tough. At the moment, orbit drops are very buggy and they don't necessarily work very well. They can be extremely hard depending on what level they are, so you've got to hope that you get one from a low level drop. But there you go, as you can see, I picked one up there and it allows you that ability to go and make one for yourself. So that is how you get hold of a tech replicator. That's how you make the high level ones. You are going to need thousands of resources to make them high level ones. I'm really showing you guys the best resource guide I can think of at the moment to get the most important resources. Resources aren't that much of an issue for basic stuff like metal, crystal. It's just more evenly spread out in Sanctuary. So if you spend a good 20 minutes going around having a run, you should be able to pick up quite a few bits. It is the polymer and black pearls that you can have the real issue, maybe some element dust too. I like the mechs a lot. They're obviously endgame stuff. I imagine if you get a couple of these with your friends or a tribe, going taking on some of the titans will be a little bit easier, or definitely going through at least the cave structures to face the titans is going to be a lot easier. When it comes to maybe finding the final boss, that may be a bit of an issue. Although they're good for crowd control, even taking 2 or 3 of these up some of the paths towards where the final boss battle is very, very difficult. Now you can put these in the cryopods, they do work like that, and if you do lose one in battle but you wanted to remember it, you can make it a taxidermy statue as well. So they're really cool. You can paint them as well using admin commands. Overall, I like them. I think they're a great addition to Extinction. It really brings home this idea that you're going to need these to overpower certain creatures and make your way to taking on some of the titans, maybe even defeating some of the smaller titans with these guys. I've got another video showing you exactly what you need to do to combine these to make your own Power Zoid to take on the final boss titan. You basically need 4 of these and you need to get it to this area when you're about to summon the final tech boss. It's going to need a little bit more of that, and I don't want to do it a disservice just shunting it on the end, but that is coming very soon. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That has been my little guide to the tech mechs. Make sure you like this video, guys. Make sure you go and check out all my other little tutorials I've been showcasing, highlighting all the new stuff in Extinction, and let me know how you're getting on with the game. I am Jade Plays Games. I'll see you ratbags later.